Who can forget the time Michael Schumacher took a leisurely stroll down the pit lane to have a friendly chat with David Coulthard? Or when Max Verstappen decided to give Esteban Ocon a gentle nudge after a race? Because, you know, hugs in F1 are just so overrated. From heated arguments that could power a small country to shocking confrontations, Formula One can get a tad messy. These are 12 unforgettable incidents where F1 drivers momentarily lost their cool.
Stayed angry, Michael Schumacher walked back with Damon Hill.
Let's dive into the legendary clash between Michael Schumacher and David Coulthard at the 1998 Belgian Grand Prix. It was a typical rainy day at Spa, with Schumacher comfortably leading the race by a country mile. As he approached Coulthard to lap him, things took a dramatic turn. Coulthard, being the gentleman that he is, slowed down. However, amidst the torrential rain, poor Schumacher couldn't quite spot him, and ended up rearranging his suspension against Coulthard's car. Naturally, Schumacher wasn't best pleased. Accusations flew faster than the cars on track. Schumacher was convinced Coulthard had orchestrated a near-death experience, while Coulthard maintained he was just letting Schumacher pass politely. But if you thought this rivalry had a crazy outcome, you are not prepared for this next one. Alright, let's zoom to 2021 at the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. Valtteri Bottas and George Russell decided to have a bit of a dance at nearly 200 miles per hour, resulting in a spectacular crash. Russell, thinking Bottas could use a wake-up slap, popped over to give his helmet a love tap, sparking what can only be described as a lively exchange. Both drivers were quick to point fingers faster than you can say cheeky move. Russell, attempting a heroic overtake on a slightly soggy track, found himself slipping on a wet patch. This unplanned pirouette led him straight into Bottas. The race stewards threw a red flag to clear the stage. Post-crash, Russell politely hinted that Bottas may have squeezed him a tad too tight, while Bottas, ever the gentleman, reminded Russell that wet tracks are no place for impromptu ballet lessons. Yeah, and that's not even how intense things can get, because what this legendary driver did next is something no one saw coming. In 2018, at the Brazilian Grand Prix, Max Verstappen was having a jolly good time leading the race when suddenly, out of nowhere, Esteban Ocon decided to join the party and attempted to unlap himself. Verstappen, not one to appreciate unexpected guests, found himself spinning out and handing the lead over to Lewis Hamilton. Post-race, a rather miffed Verstappen took it upon himself to have a discussion with Ocon during the weigh-in, giving him a few gentle nudges to discuss the art of track etiquette. The FIA, always keen on maintaining order, kindly suggested that Max spend a couple of days doing public service for his little routine. This incident sparked a debate about the rights of backmarkers and the responsibilities of leading drivers when being overtaken. Verstappen's actions were widely criticized, but who can forget what happened when these two drivers collided on the racetrack? It made for one of the most intense moments in the history of the sport. Let's take a trip to 1982 at the German Grand Prix. Nelson Piquet was leading the race and seemed headed for victory when he tried to lap Eliseo Salazar. Instead of making it easy, Salazar collided with Piquet, ending both their races. Piquet was absolutely furious and immediately started punching and kicking Salazar in one of the most infamous driver confrontations ever. Piquet had been dominating the race, but when he came up behind Salazar's slower car, things went south. As Piquet attempted to pass, Salazar didn't yield, causing a collision that sent Piquet into the barriers. Enraged by losing the race, Piquet stormed over to Salazar and unleashed a series of punches and kicks. This incident, captured on live television, shocked viewers worldwide. James Hunt, known for his fiery temper, let it all out at the 1977 Canadian Grand Prix. After crashing out of the race, a marshal came over to help, but Hunt, in his frustration, punched him to the ground. Hunt later apologized, but this incident remains a notorious part of his legacy. Hunt was battling for the win when he collided with another car and crashed into the barriers. As he climbed out of his wrecked car, a marshal ran over to assist him. Still furious from the crash, Hunt lashed out and punched the marshal, knocking him down. The incident was widely condemned, and Hunt was fined for his actions. It showed Hunt's volatile personality and the intense pressure drivers face in the heat of competition. Despite his apology, the incident tarnished Hunt's reputation and is a memorable example of a driver losing control. But there's also what happened at this next race. It was an incident that no one saw coming. One of the most controversial moments in F1 history happened at the 1994 Australian Grand Prix, when Michael Schumacher and Damon Hill collided. Schumacher was leading the championship, but after the collision, both drivers were out of the race. Schumacher won the title, but the incident left a lasting mark on his reputation. Going into the final race, Schumacher had a narrow lead over Hill in the championship standings. During the race, Schumacher made a mistake and hit the wall, damaging his car. As he limped back to the pits, Hill saw his chance to pass and secure the championship. But as Hill attempted to overtake, Schumacher turned into him, causing a collision that ended both their races. Many accused Schumacher of deliberately crashing into Hill to secure the championship, making this incident highly controversial. It remains a defining moment in F1 history, showing the lengths drivers will go to win. Still, who can forget this argument that went down between two legendary drivers? At the 2017 Azerbaijan Grand Prix, Sebastian Vettel felt Lewis Hamilton brake-checked him during a safety car period. In a fit of rage, Vettel pulled alongside Hamilton and deliberately collided with him. Vettel received a penalty, but the incident highlighted the intense rivalry between the two champions. The race was already chaotic, with multiple safety car periods and incidents. As the safety car prepared to leave the track, Hamilton slowed down to bunch up the field, causing Vettel to run into the back of him. Believing that Hamilton had brake-checked him, Vettel pulled alongside and swerved into Hamilton's car in retaliation. The stewards handed Vettel a 10-second stop-and-go penalty for dangerous driving, but the incident further fueled the rivalry between the two drivers. It showed how high emotions can run in F1, especially when championships are on the line. Jarno Trulli and Adrian Sutil had a heated exchange at the 2009 Brazilian Grand Prix. After colliding on the track, Trulli stormed over to Sutil in the paddock, accusing him of reckless driving. The two drivers argued furiously in front of the cameras, adding to the race's drama. Trulli and Sutil were battling for a position when they collided, sending both cars into the barriers. Trulli was livid and immediately sought out Sutil to confront him. They engaged in a heated argument, with Trulli blaming Sutil for the crash. Sutil defended his actions, insisting it wasn't his fault. This confrontation became one of the most memorable off-track moments of the season. The incident showed the tensions and the rivalries that can develop between drivers, especially when positions and points are on the line. Fernando Alonso and Felipe Massa clashed at the 2012 Japanese Grand Prix. Alonso, frustrated with Massa's defensive driving, banged wheels with him several times before finally passing. After the race, Alonso angrily gestured at Massa to show his displeasure. Alonso was competing for the championship and needed as many points as possible, but Massa's aggressive defense frustrated him, leading to multiple wheel-to-wheel contacts as Alonso tried to overtake. When Alonso finally succeeded, he made an angry gesture towards Massa, clearly frustrated. This incident showed the intense competition and occasional animosity between teammates, as both drivers fought for their own success in the highly competitive world of Formula One. Jacques Villeneuve and Heinz-Harald Frentzen had a tense moment in the 1997 Canadian Grand Prix. Villeneuve, the hometown hero, was forced off track by Frentzen, leading to a heated argument in the paddock after the race. This incident highlighted the fierce competition between teammates. Villeneuve was under pressure to perform well in front of his home crowd and was battling with his Williams teammate Frentzen for position. As Villeneuve tried to pass, Frentzen defended aggressively, pushing Villeneuve off the track and into the grass. After the race, Villeneuve confronted Frentzen in the paddock, and they exchanged heated words. This incident showed the intense rivalries that can develop even between teammates as both drivers fight to assert their dominance. And if you're enjoying this video so far, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so we can keep bringing you more content like this. Juan Pablo Montoya and Ralf Schumacher, teammates at Williams, had a dramatic clash at the 2003 United States Grand Prix. Montoya was fighting for the championship, and Ralf's defensive driving led to contact between the two, sparking a heated argument and highlighting the tensions within the team. Montoya was in contention for the title and needed a strong finish, while Ralf was trying to secure his own position. As they battled for track position, the two collided, damaging Montoya's car. After the race, Montoya, visibly angry, confronted Ralf, accusing him of reckless driving and not supporting the team's championship efforts. This incident showed the complexities of managing team dynamics and individual ambitions in F1. This is one of the most famous incidents in F1 history, the collision between Ayrton Senna and Alain Prost at the 1989 Japanese Grand Prix. The two McLaren teammates were fierce rivals, and their clash at Suzuka decided the championship. Senna attempted to overtake Prost at the chicane, but Prost turned in, causing both cars to collide. Prost retired on the spot, but Senna continued, only to be disqualified later. The incident remains one of the most controversial and talked about moments in F1 history, symbolizing the intense rivalry and dramatic nature of the sport. These moments show that even the best drivers can lose their cool under pressure. The high stakes and intense competition in Formula One often lead to unforgettable clashes. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out the next one for more Formula One news and highlights. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more F1 content. Which moment was the craziest for you? Let us know in the comments below.